Hello everyone, and welcome to another Company Heroes 2 replay cast. My name is ATR, and today we're gonna have ourselves a 1v1 on road to Kharkov. Our heroes today are going to be aSIIRunToTheSun, playing as the Soviets in the blue, and his opponent is gonna be none other than USA, playing as the Storm Pioneers in the red. Now let's talk about our players a little bit. USA, more commonly known as OMG Pop, is an amazing player who is, at the time of casting this, currently ranked, yeah, I guess his OKW play is actually ranked 11th, which is pretty awesome, I mean, to say the least. But even more awesome is this: he's currently ranked #1 for the U.S. forces and #2 for both Soviets and aSIIR. So a pretty goddamn good player right here. And then on the other side, we have CoH2, who is no scrub himself. At the time of casting this, his Soviet play is ranked #5th. He is the one that actually holds the #1 rank for the OKW. And his others are a little bit higher up there. Looks like they're a little bit less played. I mean, considering he has like 300 plays in the 300 games as OKW and only about 45 as US forces, it's a little bit higher up there. And even then, it's 64, so he's still pretty amazing. So we should have ourselves a hell of a game. So anyways, let's talk about the game that's going on. We see that the forces, or the combat engineers over here on the left-hand side, got a little bit pushed or harassed there by the half-track for OMG Pop. Got pushed over to the left-hand side and got themselves into a house as a Volksgrenadier squad for OMG Pop moved over to the left. Second combat engineer squad coming in to help out, and we see that Run to the Sun is going for a very interesting opening. He goes tier 1 to get himself scout cars, but opens up with 4 combat engineers. No conscripts for him. Conscripts are a little bit out of favor in this meta. Nobody likes using them, apparently. And of course, well, combat engineers are hell cheaper. I mean, it's 180 manpower compared to 240. So yeah, I mean, you do save yourself some manpower in there, and we now have a scout car on the field. Scout car now running towards the half-track in the center. Going to run into those Storm Pioneers. Scout car by itself doesn't have too much power against a Storm Pioneer squad, but it does catch the half-track out of position, will chase it down and take it out. That means no teching, at least not yet, for OMG Pop. We do have 3 Volksgrenadier squads out on the field for OMG Pop, but that scout car will be taking care of that half-track very quickly. There it goes. Oh, almost takes it out in that last burst. One more burst should do it, and there it goes. And then now the scout car places itself in a nice flanking angle there on the Volksgrenadier squad, forces the retreat, and away they go. So Run to the Sun looking very dominant right now in his position. Now going to be going for a sniper from his tier 1. Sniper play is going to be quite difficult for the OKW to deal with. But remember that the scout car can no longer garrison the sniper, so you don't have to worry about the sniper being ferried around and chasing down your troops and sniping them on the run. So scout car decides to put itself in between 2 Volksgrenadier squads, as it does have 2 weapons, 50 cal in the front and 30 cal in the back. So it does have the capabilities of shooting on both sides. However, it does take quite a beating in there and is out of the field. However, since Run to the Sun did go for 4 combat engineers, there is no lack of repairs for him to go, and he decides to move himself even to support while under duress or a little bit damaged. Get that Storm Pioneer squad out of the field, and now it's going to get repaired there by the combat engineers. Rocket and Warfare now on the field for OMG Pop. He's going to be trying to deal with that scout car as it comes. We do have a sniper on the field. Let's put a hotkey on that, keep track on that, see how many kills it gets. But so far, we see that Run to the Sun has been pushed off the center by those Volksgrenadiers. Scout car is really his only mainstay just yet, but once the sniper comes into play, it will give him quite a bit of firepower. Shot flies from the sniper, gets a kill on the Volksgren squad up in the front. Volksgren squad moves itself up to the hedge. Nice maneuver there by OMG Pop, putting himself out of the line of fire of the sniper and also closing the distance, hoping that the sniper would, you know, cross this corner and get itself shot in the face. However, aSIIRunToTheSun decides to actually keep his distance a little bit and see if he can get a different angle for a different shot. Scout car still on the field, not getting repaired just yet, as the Volksgrens are getting some shots off at a distance. Scout car down to very low amounts of health, but does have 2 combat engineer squads nearby that could help repair it. We see a second sniper coming onto the field for Run to the Sun, and we also see a combat engineer squad going down to the south and cutting off the fuel point for OMG Pop. Back at base, OMG Pop still not getting his half track just yet, so no tech for him. Oh, and a nasty retreat there. Ends up hitting a mine, apparently. And it looks like a Volkswagen squad did get eliminated. One-man Volkswagen squad still on the field. Sniper takes a shot. No, it actually decides to change targets and makes it out of there. We do have doctrines for both players. We have Run to the Sun going for the mechanized support tactics and OMG Pop going for breakthrough doctrine. Storm Pioneer squad moving up to the north, getting shot by the sniper. Combat Engineer squad's in the way to help out. Sniper taking a couple shots to its face, but only a couple. So it's just a flesh wound, but they're fine. Scout car still not having a very good day. Keeps getting damaged. It's now at about 60% strength. Has gotten 4 kills to its name and veterancy 1, so it has been doing quite a superb job. But we now have 2 snipers on the field. Let's go ahead and put both of them on those queues. And yeah, I mean, that's going to be very difficult for the OKW. Scout car pushing on the top. Volkswagen squad forced to retreat. And we have all the troops for OMG Pop back at base. He does get his half track finally, as it gets, you know, it has a 180-second cooldown between half tracks, and is now getting Mechanized Regiment headquarters to be able to, well, build something else. He does have 90 fuel banked up, so he can potentially get himself a vehicle coming into play, maybe. But for now, he's getting himself a second Rakuten Warfare to try and deal with that scout car. Also, we can see that on the field is a artillery field officer. What is it called? Storm officer. Yeah, the artillery field officer is the one for the aSIIR. Storm officer moving over to the left-hand side to capture territory, but for now it's just moving back. Combat engineers for Run to the Sun, managing to lay down mines all over the place, and we do have a triple cap currently going for Run to the Sun. He holds 500 points to his name, so not a point bled in his against him, and he has brought OMG Pop to less than 300 points very quickly. We're only 7 minutes in, so that is quite an advantage that he's getting himself right now. Left-hand side, more capping going on by all those combat engineers. We still have 4 of them on the field. Do we have medics back at base? No medics just yet for Run to the Sun. He's utilizing his manpower in other endeavors. He does get himself a AT gun as well as he builds tier 2, so interesting opening. Tier 1, tier 2. I mean, his doctrine does provide him the ISU, but the ISU is very late game. It's 12 command points, so he will have to deal with no infantry. I mean, with no vehicles for a while. But well, I guess he has the scout car. Officer running into some troops over on the left-hand side. It looks like the officer was shot, and it forces the squad to retreat. Although I'm not sure if the squad itself is affected by that condition, because situation with that officer is that it can be buffing nearby troops. But if the NPC or the entity inside the squad dies, all the troops nearby retreat. So it's a high risk, high reward kind of thing, right? So up in the far north, we see that OMG Pop is concentrating his forces, making a big push. He does know or should know that there are 2 snipers on the field. We have 1 kill on one, 6 kills on the other, 2 kills already on the other one. Taking shots left and right, the Volkswagens are going to be able to absorb those shots quite effectively. I mean, it is a 5-man squad compared to the Grand squads, which are only 4 men, which means they cannot withstand a second volley. Volkswagen squad do have that advantage where they have a little bit of tolerance there and they can push. Oh, a nasty Shrek flies from the Volkswagen squad and nails the spotter. Was that the sniper? I think that was the spotter. Yeah, that was the spotter for the sniper. Gets eliminated, and the Rakuten Warfares push up. Trying to actually get the kill on the scout car, but they put themselves in a very awkward angle right in the middle of everything. Also, a Maxim machine gun is in range. The Rakuten Warfare moves back. Mine gets tripped there by the Rakuten Warfare as he retreats. Second squad is forced to retreat, and everything is forced to retreat from the north. Victory points are 220 for OMG Pop. He did manage to capture the point on the right-hand side, so he is in a decent amount of shape. Snipers moving back out. We still have no medics on the field. Medics are barely getting research here for Run to the Sun. And we see that a sniper is still on the field without his spotter. Very risky maneuver, especially with damage on the health. But he is pushing his advantage right now as far as territory, because Run to the Sun is controlling most of the map. Another half-track on the field. Mechanized Regiment Headquarters is currently in fuel transfer mode. So it reduces the munitions and increases the fuel, but what is he going to do with that? Well, we shall see. Up in the far north, we do have a Volkswagen squad cut off from enemy lines, or I mean from his friendly lines, I should say. Maxim machine guns on the field for Run to the Sun, going to be holding down territory, and the Volkswagen decide to pop into the house and give them a little bit of a surprise. There are 3 windows in that house, and there's 3 Volkswagens in the squad, so they'll be able to maximize their firepower onto that squad, at least what they can provide, but the Maxim machine gun is, well, not going to have too much of a problem. Snipers still on the field, going to be moving back up to the north, going to try and hunt down that Volkswagen squad. Sniper up in the base is getting his spotter trained and moving back on there. Fusiliers now on the field for Mr. OMG Pop. He has 1 already out, a second one coming down from the base. We see a big push to the center as Storm Pios, the Sturm officer, and the Fusiliers move in for a flank. There is a Maxim machine gun covering the right-hand side flank, and the Raketen Werfers are forced to back off. But the Fusilier squad not having too much luck in the center, as there's a lot of combat engineers and snipers on the field for Run to the Sun. The half-track just moving around. I mean, may as well do something if you're not going to be building any tech with it. You know, you can still push infantry with it. Combat engineers pushing into the center. The half-track rearing its ugly head and pushing the combat engineers around, forces the retreat as a storm officer just moves up. We see mine, very sneaky mine getting laid down there by Run to the Sun, and, well, that's pretty much the thing, right? He has 4 combat engineer squads. He can lay down mines all over the place. Scout car moves in to engage the half-track, as the half-track isn't really taking too much damage there to the small arms fires of the engineers. Raketen Werfers moving up close to it to provide support. Fusiliers and officer nearby. The officer is still alive on that squad, but once again, if he is killed, nearby units will be forced to retreat. Victory points, however, are down to 120 for OMG Pop. He is running out of time, literally. He needs to do something and do it fast. He is sending his Raketen Werfer all the way to the left-hand side. There's nothing covering just yet. We do see a guard squad moving in that direction. And the scout car plus snipers are converging, but he will be able to, at the very least, decap this point and potentially get himself a little bit of time. Right-hand side, combat engineers moving around to recapture territory. The Raketen Werfer now getting engaged by the snipers and the guard squad. Forced to retreat. Snipers taking shots at a distance. PTRS rifles as well, just bouncing off the surface. And we see that the Jouer Panzer headquarters has gotten upgraded over on the left-hand side. Going to be trying to hold this front. It isn't in range of the victory point, which, you know, means he's not going to be able to secure it completely. Which is kind of important right now. I mean, not sure he could have done it anyways, considering the territory situation. He built it right at the edge. He needs to capture this point first, but yeah, OMG Pop is down to 88 points. He puts his Fusiliers up into the center, gets them a little bit battered there. The Schwerter Panzer headquarters comes online, getting a barrage off on that combat engineer squad, forcing the retreat. Over on the far right-hand side, combat engineers are holding the line, and we see OMG Pop not even going for that side. He has his forces all focused into the center. Storm Pios are going to be moving into the center and revealing the mine. Could potentially go for the cap of the point, and he needs to go for it now. There's 70 points still left. We do have snipers on the left-hand side covered by combat engineers. The Schwerter Panzer headquarters is taking a shots there by the AT gun. Not going to be able to withstand too much longer if he is unable to break through. Fusiliers moving over through the center, get engaged by a Maxim machine gun, and guard squad is getting battered there. Even flamethrowers on top of it, forced to retreat. And down to 52 points for OMG Pop. Is he actually going to be losing this right off the bat with no points bled in his enemy's favor? That is quite a turn of events here. We have Volkskrens and Raketen Warfare, even the Storm Pios dashing over to the right-hand side, going to try and stop that bleed. He notices now, or, well, obviously he's noticed before, but he knows now that obviously he cannot afford to stand by any longer. Storm Pios do manage to decap off the point on the right-hand side, slowing the bleed down to 2 points per tick. They need to capture the point to stop the bleed, or slow down the bleed to 1 point per tick to give them even more time, but the Maxim machine gun is getting suppression off on that Storm Pio. Can they manage to get the cap before they get pinned down? There goes the cap. Yes, they do. They managed to get the cap, slowing the bleed to 1 point per tick, buying OMG Pop a little bit more time. Can he actually do it? This Schwerter Panzer headquarters on the left-hand side does go down, however, and we see all his troops moving out through the center. Right-hand side point is getting captured once again by the guard squad, and that is going to speed up the bleed to 2 points per tick once again. And the desperate attempt goes over to the left-hand side, and I don't think they're going to be able to do anything about it. That is a very unexpected victory, really, here. I mean, not that I wouldn't expect Run to the Sun to be able to win, but not by 500 points at 15 minutes. Wow. And, well, OMG Pop decides, you know what? We're not going to wait here. Throws in the towel with 12 points remaining. And that is game. Wow. A very quick, very early win here for Run to the Sun, which, well, nobody saw coming. No, at least I didn't. But, well, there you go. So anyways, guys, I hope you enjoy the game. If you have any positive or negative remarks, go ahead and leave them in the comment section below. If you have any replays you want to send me, go ahead and send them to the email that I will put in the description. But otherwise, I hope you guys have a great day. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.